on life.
Deputies tell us they found Gage lying unresponsive in a front yard in this neighborhood. The night of September 4th, he was here working on cars, and we're told he just went out to grab a pack of cigarettes from his car. That's when the suspect spotted him. Columbia County Sheriff's Office says these 5 people were breaking into cars that night. Multiple agencies helped find them over the past few weeks. The last 2 just arrested Tuesday. Gage Reynolds had no connection to the 5 men. Investigators saying he simply caught them in the middle of a crime. So according to warrants, it was an intentional shooting. His mom describes him as someone who worked to overcome previous addiction struggles, that he was in the beginning of turning his life around. The full chance now robbed of him. Gage loved working on cars. It's what he was doing the night he was shot.
What gives you the right to decide on someone's life? That's God's decision. You had no right to kill my son. None. It's not fair that this happened, and I know God has his reasons, and I know that he is up there with him, but it's not fair.
His mom also made a plea to the community against violence. That message coming up here at 6 o'clock. In Columbia County, I'm Sierra Cummings on your side.
And today, Mayor Hardy Davis and Sheriff Roundtree because of the coronavirus pandemic. The holiday shopping season is getting off to its earliest start in history with a new shopping holiday this weekend called 10-10 Shopping Festival. And organizers hope it not only offers consumers great deals, but will help retailers and charities too. Jamie Tucker explains.
Some stores have artificial trees on display, but for many, thoughts don't turn to Christmas until after Halloween. But this is 2020.
We've already seen volumes up 20 to 30%. And it goes back to this idea of having a holiday, having a festival, giving the consumer a reason to shop. This year more than ever before.
Deborah Winesway helped come up with the idea of the new shopping holiday. They've recruited dozens of online and in-store retailers to offer savings they may not see on Slimer Monday, but also easing the capacity constraints on postal carriers, since online shopping is expected to set records.
There is a shortage of product because so many retailers canceled in March and April. There is not enough product in the supply chain to have gifts under the tree for everyone.
About 50 retailers have signed on so far. Shoppers will be able to use the app ShopKick to find deals and earn kicks that can be used for discounts later, and those kicks can be donated to charity. Wineswick says the idea is to make an early start to the holidays good for everyone: shoppers, retailers, delivery drivers, and charities.
And I'll just use the Christmas spirit, right? Like, let's keep it going 12 months long, right? I mean, I think we all need it right now.
And 10-10 is inspired by Singles Day in China, which takes place on 11/11 and is the biggest shopping day of the year worldwide. You can find out more by using the ShopKick app or by going to their website, 1010shoppingfestival.com. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Always on board with a good excuse to shop. Also always on board with a good excuse to share his story. But first,
city officials say the shooting at the Augusta Mall over the weekend brought gun violence back to the forefront, but they say it can't be stopped without the community's help. The crime tape is a sign of the problem.
We have seen more and more of these incidents become deadly and fatal in nature, and that is very concerning to us.
Sheriff Roundtree says there's been 26 homicides this year in Richmond County and 174 aggravated assaults involving guns. Similar numbers to this time last year, but last year there wasn't a pandemic. They are trying to increase their proactive patrols.
We are pretty much running them 7 days a week in areas in which we see an uptick of gun violence.
But he says the real solution will come from the community.
We need to have the community engaged into the fact of not just looking at the faults in which we have in our community, but what are solutions that we can bring.
You can't wait until be a reactive person, right? You have to be proactive about things that are going on.
Nikki Watson is the executive director of Future Successors, a nonprofit in our area focused on fixing these problems early.
If they know that at a young age, majority of the time they will stray away from that.
Her group did a gun buyback day and turned the guns into art.
We're just showing the kids that this was something that wasn't needed, so we broke it down and showed them art, showing something that good can come out of it.
Richmond County says further change will take coming together.
We have to band together, not just from a law enforcement standpoint, from our faith base, from our civic organization, that we're not going to tolerate gun violence in our community.
Sheriff Roundtree says they need gun owners to be more responsible, to keep guns out of the hands of those who have other plans. Reporting in Augusta, Brady Trotnell on your side.
And it's not just a spike in violent crimes in Richmond County, but across the CSRA. In Martinez, complete strangers took the life of 28-year-old Gage Reynolds, all because deputies say he walked up on a crime while it was happening. Sarah Cummings sat down with his mother today, who's sharing his story with us.
Gage Reynolds knew a lot about things falling apart and coming together.
He just started tinkering with things. He would take something and tear it apart and put it back together. It could be anything, a lawnmower, weed eater.
His family said life as he knew it was in pieces after addiction, but the 28-year-old pulled the broken parts together through recovery. It's why his death hurts Mom, Lorelei Davidson, even more.
You know, when he got out of prison, I said, you have a chance to start over.
Warrants charge these 5 suspects in Gage's murder. Columbia County deputies say they intentionally shot him once he spotted them breaking into cars here.
It's horrible. It's horrible. You had no right to kill my son. None.
Lorelei had not seen her son for weeks before his September 4th death due to her severe COVID case.
It gave me a heart attack. I had a heart attack because of the virus.
But even that pain, she says, is no match for the ache of losing a child.
He was just hanging out at this house and went out to the car to get his cigarettes. And then they were out there. And it kills me. It really does kill me.
Investigators tell us they found Gage lying in the front yard of this Martinez home. Mom explaining he was working on neighbors' cars, doing what he knew best, taking broken parts, putting them together again.
It's not fair that this happened, and I know God had his reasons, and I know that he is up there with him, but it's not fair.
The family describes Gage as a man who loved hard and worked even harder. Their plea now, his death be the last shooting.
We need to get together as a community and stand up to these criminals. And my son suffered the consequences, and he was innocent.
Sierra Cummings, on your side.
And the sheriff's office confirms there was no connection between Gage and the suspects. Neighborhoods across Columbia County say they saw a string of car break-ins recently and were working to learn if any of those cases were linked to these suspects. Learning today, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is taking this seriously as well. This is a problem we're seeing in our community. They're launching a crisis prevention team. That means the state will be assigning a mental health professional and trained crisis prevention officer to the county. They will assist officers on any mental health related calls, something Sheriff Roundtree says has spiked because of the pandemic. And that starts on November 1st, so we'll keep you posted on their progress with that. Okay, check out all these toys. Just what we need, some good news. Donated to the Children's Hospital of Georgia today. It's all thanks to the Shepherd Blood Community Center and the generous people all across our community. The Blood Center collected these toys during September for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Ended up with hundreds of donations. Look at just all these boxes full. And organizers say being in the hospital as a kid, it's tough enough. And on top of it, with the pandemic, keeping them in their rooms, limited visitors, it's just a lot for these kids. So this was definitely a little bit of needed joy.
This year has been particularly hard for everyone, so we really wanted to do something that would just bring a little bit of joy back to the community, to put a smile on a child's face, on their family's face, because, you know, if they're at Children's Hospital of Georgia, it's probably one of the most difficult times of their lives.
Organizers say a toy drive, it's something small, but it can make a big difference in these kids' lives. They say their donation response just keeps getting bigger every year, so we love to see that. More than 30 years of the Augusta Greek Festival, and the pandemic could not keep them down. They are just giving it a new spin. You're taking a look live now. This is at the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church in Augusta, where this year you can get your Greek to go. They're hosting this festival drive-through style, and look at the cars lined up. These people know what's up because this Greek food is delicious. If you're hungry, go get in line now because it is well worth it. But if you don't want to go in person, you can also get your food delivered through Augusta to go. They're offering free delivery for first-time orders, so great opportunity to help the local community and get a tasty dinner. But this will run through Sunday. It's open for different hours every day. We posted those on our website for you, but yum, my mouth is already watering just thinking about that out there, Riley.
And the weather's perfect out there this evening. If you